What's up? I'm just gonna list my least favorite Pokemon because I can do what I want. Although, just a quick disclaimer: I am recording this at 4:30 in the morning, so if I'm a bit quieter than usual, that's why. It's because there's still people sleeping. I'll just go ahead and get started. I'll start off the same way I did last time. I have some, I guess, dishonorable mentions, and we'll just go from there. Uh, Alolan Persian. Now, before I say anything, I want to say I really like regional variants. I do. It's gonna seem like I don't. I actually have three of them on this list, but I do really like regional variants. I think it's a great way to, add a little more personality and character to the Pokemon we already know and love. However, Alolan Persian for me doesn't quite hit the mark. It honestly just looks like Persian swallowed a giant watermelon, and then it got stuck there, and it couldn't swallow it. I don't like how its head is shaped. And plus, if you wanted to make another Persian, I understand they didn't want to make it exactly how it was supposed to look, because then it would just look like a different colored Persian. And I understand that the kind of cat a Alolan Persian is based on typically do have big heads, but why'd they have to make it look like a watermelon? I don't know. I think it looks stupid. Second dishonorable mention, Simipour. It is not uncommon to see multiple Unova monkeys on this list, and it's not any different for me, and you'll see. You'll see why. But yeah, Simipour, it just doesn't look good. I don't like its hair. Its hair is very dumb looking. And you're gonna hear me say that a lot. And as sad as it is, it's not good. It's not even good. But whatever. Another one is Dugong. Now, Dugong, I don't have a problem with overall. Like, but I don't like it because I think Seal is dumb. And then they had a chance to fix Seal, and they just made a bigger Seal. Like, that, that is incredibly stupid and lazy, and I will always hold at least a little resentment towards Seal and Dugong for that reason. I hope one day they can get cool regional forms or an evolution or something and make it look not as dumb. Then Dugong will probably be off this list. Galarian Stunfisk. I think it's stupid. Just straight up, I think it's stupid. There isn't a ton for me to say. I just think it's dumb. I like the idea, but I think the execution is poor. And the last dishonorable mention, Fione. Fione should not exist. It just randomly comes out of nowhere, along with Manaphy. But Manaphy at least has this cool lore behind it. Fione doesn't. Like, where does Fione come from? It's stupid and shouldn't exist. That's my reasoning for not liking it. Anyways, it is time to move on to my top 10 least favorite Pokemon. start off with number 10, Bruxish. I think Bruxish looks stupid, I think it looks ugly, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Also, I should mention, as a bit of a disclaimer, I don't really hate any of these Pokemon up until probably number 4. I love Pokemon, and as a result, I love majority of the creatures they've created. And I really don't like to hate on Pokemon. So I really don't hate any of the Pokemon until around number 4 or 5. Yeah, back to Bruxish. I think it's ugly, I think it's stupid looking. And I'm just going to move on to number 9 before I say anything I don't want to say. Number 9, Simisear. As I said earlier, it's not uncommon to see one, if not multiple, Univamonkeys on this list. And Simipour for me, I think is the worst. Or Simisear, sorry. Simisear, I think it's the worst of the bunch. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the idea behind the Univamonkeys. But I think the execution is rather poor, and Simisear just looks so uncomfortable. It looks so uncomfortable in all of its art. Like, it's never smiling. It always has that weird. It always has that weird, awkward looking expression on its face. And it just looks uncomfortable. And I think that is the best way I can describe it. Moving on, number 8, Barbaracle. Barbaracle, if you ask me, is the stupidest, and I mean the stupidest design in all of Pokemon. Why does it have eyes for on its different appendages? Why does it have a hand for a face? I don't understand. And its shiny is awful. And I just hate its design. It looks so stupid. But I digress. Moving on. Number 7, we've got Watchog. Watchog, first off, it looks like it's on some kind of drug. And secondly, they are infuriating in battle. And third, it's just really stupid. And this is coming from someone who has used only a Watchog in a playthrough and beat the entirety of Black and White with just a Watchog, including Alder. Boy, that was a miserable experience. It's infuriating to battle. It looks like it's on drugs. I think it's stupid. I'm sorry. Number 6, Mr. Mime. Like the Univamonkeys, it's not uncommon to see Mr. Mime on this list. Obviously, this used to be lower on the list, but since its appearances in both Legends Arceus and Detective Pikachu, Mr. Mime has grown on me. Will I ever love it? Probably not, but it has grown on me throughout the years because I think the fact that they've actually been taking, the whole mime thing and, implementing it into the games, like Legends Arceus, as I mentioned earlier, I think that's really clever. And it makes it seem more like a mime. And I like that. Moving on. This is probably where I start to really hate the Pokemon. Number 5, we've got Cacturn, or as I always call it, Inferior Cactus. Now, when your second favorite Pokemon of all time is another cactus Pokemon that is constantly getting overshadowed, and this cactus Pokemon gets more attention because it was introduced in an earlier generation and it has dual typing, chances are I'm probably not going to like it. And I don't know if I'll ever love Cacturn. And I have used it in a playthrough. Very recently, actually, within the last year. And I still didn't love it then. So I don't know if Cacturn is ever a Pokemon I will ever use. And I can live with that. I think I will always see this thing as the inferior cactus Pokemon to Maractus. Moving on. Number 4, Alolan Dugtrio. First off, I think original Dugtrio, Cantonian Dugtrio, is already pretty dumb. It's just a Diglett plus 2 more Diglets. I think that's stupid. But then, back in 2016, for whatever godforsaken reason, they decided to give Dugtrio hair. And not even good hair. They gave it really bad people hair. Ooh, and, of course, they made it. This is what I don't understand about this Pokemon. They gave it really bad people hair, and they made it a slightly darker shade of brown. And for some reason, that makes it a steel type. Now, I understand the hair of Alolan Dugtrio is supposed to be volcanic grass. I get that part. But what I don't understand is why they had to make it really bad people hair. Now look, I can give Alolan Dugtrio one thing. It might look funny to some people, and I acknowledge that. I think that's good. But I think it looks dumb. Moving on. Another really, really bad Gen 7 Pokemon with people hair is Crabominable. I think this is the ugliest Pokemon they've ever introduced, and I don't even think it's really close. I think Crabominable looks stupid. It has god awful people hair. It has a freaking bowl cut. It's a stupid Yeti crab thing with giant paws on its hands, and it looks stupid. Moving on before I lose my mind. Number 2, Aromatisse. Now, I think a Plague Doctor Pokemon would be excellent. I think it's excellent. What I do not think is excellent is the fact that they decided to fuse it with a can dancer. And as a result, it created the abomination we all know as Aromatisse today. Now, Aromatisse, I think, is ugly. I think it's ugly. And I don't love the fact that it's always trying to look sexy by sticking out its stupid leg. I think that looks dumb. And boy, I really don't like this Pokemon. I really don't like this Pokemon. But there is one Pokemon that trumps it. Number 1, my least favorite Pokemon of all time, Clefable. Now, Clefable. I always go into every Pokemon with an indifferent opinion about it. And at that point, it has its choice to either make me really like it or really hate it. You can guess which option Clefable chose. Every time, and I mean every time, I battle against this thing, it is the most infuriating Pokemon to battle against, and I hate it. Do you know how many times I have lost to a stupid Clefable, or at the very least have had an absolutely infuriating experience against it? Like, this thing is always going out of its way to make me mad, and I hate this fat, pink, stupid Pokemon. Magic Guard, Moonlight, Cosmic Power, Stored Power, Minimize. Whenever I did competitive battling for a good 6 months or so, I would always encounter Clefable. That would be the moveset they would all know, I swear to God. They always make me mad. And it's not even just actual people that know what they're doing. It's the AI. Oh my god, the AI. In just normal playthroughs, the AI in Pokemon games infuriates me to no avail. But that is my top 10 least favorite Pokemon. I got nothing else to say. Don't die.